footprints in the wind. When dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane comes in.
So in the sequence you just saw, it was all shot on the iPhone 15 Pro. Just the native camera app, no Blackmagic app, no additional accessories and defilters or anything like that. It was just shot with the app, just the phone. Now, I don't do a whole lot of mobile filmmaking myself, but I do know that phones nowadays are absolutely phenomenal and you can do whatever you need to do with just your phone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get cinematic video with just using your iPhone. So there are a few things you have to remember when shooting with your phone. So there's a few problems that you're going to run into that you're going to have to solve in order to get these videos to look right. So one of the first problems is that phones in general have a tendency to over sharpen and overexpose images when you're in the auto mode. And this can be crazy, right? So one of the things you can do is, at least for the overexposure, is that if you touch the screen and this little sun thingy, whatever appears, you can drag that down and that will kind of darken the image. Or you can press on the little arrow and go to the plus and minus and adjust the exposure compensation from there. And that'll kind of help you to get your exposure right. The second thing is the over sharpening. Now that's something you're probably gonna have to do in post because there's really no way to do it on the phone, at least for the iPhone 15 Pro. Now, I know they now have the 16 Pro. Maybe there's something in there to do it with, but I really don't know. The other thing that you're gonna have a problem with, and of course this is always the biggest, is the fact that if you wanna get the best quality out of the phone, you need to use the back cameras, but you can't see yourself when you do that. So there are some workarounds to this. They're not all that great, but they will work. The first one is if you have an Apple Watch, you can actually pair your phone to your Apple Watch to at least be able to get your frame. Now for me, I don't know what it is, man, that the camera remote for the Apple Watch is spotty. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It freezes. It's just not reliable enough to depend on. Now the other thing is that I know they do sell an actual monitor that will mirror the screen on your phone that you can put on the back of it to be able to see yourself. And I know I've seen those actual mirrors that just kind of, I guess, reflect the phone image. I don't really know how those work, but there are some options out there. But if you're a good distance away from the phone, those aren't going to work that well either. So the best thing you can do is just really just kind of position the phone to the best of your ability. Go run, do whatever you got to do. Come back, check the phone, check the footage, see if it looks right, and adjust from there. Now that's just something you're going to have to deal with unless there's some other workarounds that I don't know about. Now, when it comes to shooting on a phone, at least for me, there are two things that I found out that are really going to make your videos look cinematic. And these things really should apply whether you're using your phone or any type of camera to shoot videos with. And there are a lot of things now. It's just not these, but I'm only going to focus on two. And that's composition and color grading. Composition is going to be real important, right? So think about this. Think about when you watch a movie, how things are placed in the frame. That's all composition is. It's nothing really difficult about it. The reason why this is really important with your phone is because the phones have a certain quality about them that you can almost certainly recognize when something is shot with a phone. Now, depending on how good you are with the next thing we're going to talk about in a little bit with the color grading, that can kind of be mitigated and hid, but a lot of times you can tell when something is iPhone or phone period footage. Using composition, and this is just something that for me works when I watch films or videos that I know were shot using with phones, and that if it looks aesthetically pleasing to the eye, then I don't really pay attention to the actual quality or the over sharpening or things like that. In other words, when I'm watching a video, if things are placed right, if it looks like the person did some blocking and some set design and they lit it well, which is going to be another important thing, then I really don't pay attention to the quality per se. And I think that holds true with a lot of people. So composition and framing is going to be very important when you shoot. You can use the rule of thirds. Sometimes that rule doesn't work for everything that you're shooting. So my suggestion is that you look at the location where you're at, wherever you're shooting, frame up your subject in a way that looks pleasing to you, and then shoot. Don't concentrate too much on trying to set up your composition, because what will happen is you'll fool around and talk yourself out of shooting a video, period, because you can't get it to look perfect. Now, here's the big one, color grading. Color grading is something that takes a little time to learn. With a lot of phones, it's a little bit more difficult because the phone does a lot of the processing for you. Now, when you're using third-party apps like the Blackmagic app, you can shoot and log. And you can shoot and log on the native app too, but there's some things you have to work around to do that. But with the Blackmagic camera app, you can shoot and log, which will give you a lot more latitude in color grading. But that ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about just shooting with the native camera app in the phone. And so you've got to be careful with your color grading because the phone does a lot of it. I mean, let's face it. When we see these videos shot with a lot of phones, if they're just little TikTok videos or whatever, the colors look good. I mean, everything just looks good in these things. But in order for you to get a specific look from the phone to where you don't want it to look like a phone, then some color grading is going to be needed. Now, in the clips that you saw, like I said, I did not use the Blackmagic camera app. I used the native app, and I was still able to do some color grading to get it to look the way it looks. I have some years of experience color grading, so I know how far I can push and pull things before the image starts to fall apart. And there's from my opinion, color grading is always going to be subjective. It's always going to be dependent on what it is that you want. So this is something you're just going to have to go into whatever editing program that you use. I would always suggest DaVinci Resolve. It's free. The free version of this thing is crazy. For me, if you're editing on a computer, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be using DaVinci Resolve to color grade and edit your videos. I don't. It's very powerful and it's free. Again, I can't stress that enough. It is free. So, but whatever program you're using, hop in, play with the color settings. Man, just start grabbing sliders and slide them up and down till you start getting looks that you want. You'll know when the image starts to fall apart. You'll start to see little color pixelations in it and all that kind of stuff, and you know you have to back off. But go in, figure out the type of color grades you want, and just go from there. Now, if you are a person that figures out, that you want to use log, and to use log in the iPhones without the Blackmagic camera app, you have to connect it to another power source, and you're probably going to want an external storage because the files are going to be absolutely huge. So that's why I don't suggest that. That just adds more things that you have to bring with you and think about it and all that. Now, again, you don't necessarily have to color grade, right? If you're happy with the way the image comes out when you just shoot it, man, roll with it. Roll with it. Who's to say that it's cinematic or not? Now, I will suggest also using the cinematic mode because that adds that little bit of background separation from you and the background. So, that could be something to think about. But again, you don't have to. Now, I know I said that I was only going to talk about 2 things, but there is another one I want to mention, and that's lighting. knowing how to light is going to help you a lot. If you want to use your phone for like talking head setups like this, then you're going to need to learn how to light. Now, what I didn't tell you is that I'm shooting this entire video with the iPhone 15 Pro now. It's in cinematic mode. Again, no other accessories, but I do have some lighting going on. And to help mitigate the problem of not being able to see myself, I've mirrored the phone with my Mac Mini, so I'm actually looking here on my monitor to be able to see. And the other thing I've done is I've connected a Bluetooth mouse to it so I can control the camera app with the mouse, because I can see it on the screen and not have to worry about reaching behind. Now, this is just something that I'm doing for this video. Like I say, I don't use my phone to do this. I normally use my camera, but I gotta say that just looking at the image, I might start doing this a little bit more. I also have an external mic connected to it so I can get good audio. And if it sounds good, man, this may be a setup that I'll use, that I may use more often. But I also have a key light up here that is lighting me, and it is the Small Rig RC something or other. I'll put it on the screen, and I have a modifier on it to give me some good soft light. I'll definitely throw a slight grade on this, so just to get your talking heads looking good. Listen, your phone is plenty to do whatever it is you need it to do, filmmaking, YouTube videos, for whatever. So I don't want people to think that you have to run out and grab a camera to do stuff. Even when I'm shooting professional projects with my Canon R5C, if I need a quick clip of something real quick or just some quick B-roll, I'll grab my phone and grab that real quick. And I've never had anybody tell the difference or say, hey, this looks different or it doesn't. None of that. These phones are great. They have great image quality and they will do the job. All right. So listen, man, if you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for me, and go ahead and smash that bell so you'll know every time I upload a video. And I think, yeah, man, I'm really liking how this image looks over here, for real. I think I might use my phone a little bit more. Who knows? Let me know if you guys can tell that this was a phone or if I was using my camera. All right. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. All right. Peace.